Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Counselor's Office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and we are back with another of the Counselor Reacts. And we are reacting about Black Myth Wukong. A lot of drama, a lot of things going on about a game that I myself personally not necessarily excited about. I want to make that very clear as we get ready to review said game. Not necessarily review, but review the drama behind said game, right? I'm very understanding of Wukong. Literally played games that reference Wukong and has the whole lore, at least some of the implications. But overall, it's not like this game isn't calling out to me. It's supposed to be like a Souls-like game. Again, take it with as you will. And here's the thing. If you don't like the game, that's your choice. If you like the game, that's your choice. This topic specifically is not about whether it's a good game or it's a bad game, a fun game, a boring game. It's about the concept about journalists and overall the vibe around just how people review games. So just so we can get some clarification, I am going to put this into view for everyone. Black Myth Wukong at an 82% or 82 ranking out of 100, I'm assuming. It's about a monkey. It's very obvious it's about a monkey. This is made by I think Chinese, or at least it's Asian. Again, ignorance here in this. I don't claim to know every little thing about this game, but I have been following up on some of the drama, and it does seem like that it is made by a Chinese company. The two people talking about it are white, but again, Game Science, a company that isn't necessarily Western, is releasing tomorrow, actually, the 19th, Black Myth Wukong. As you can see, it's a pretty good game, score-wise. I think 82 is like a B, and I think most games are that you want to be around 90%. But I would say 82 is still good enough. Like I don't feel like you're gonna waste your money buying this game. So there's that. I think the reviews are starting to come in. Most of these I don't even know who they are. So what's the problem, Mr. Gaming Counselor? If it's got 82, what's the drama? Well, we get stuff like this. So even before the game came out, again, I'll shrink it for y'all. Even before IGN came out, I don't know like the date, but it was like way before it came out. IGN made this post. Indie soul-like Black Myth Wukong has seen widespread acclaim since it's revealed. But the studio behind it, Game Science, has long been since plagued with accusations of sexism that reflect wider issues in the Chinese game industry. And you're thinking, wow, that's quite the claim. And you could see that on Twitter, it was noted the sexist quotes shown in the article are poorly translated. Accurate translation show the statements being vulgar, but definitely not sexist. IGN reporting on these fallacious, unverified claims as though their fact is yellow journalism, which CNs were made to combat. Community notes. So yes, IGN was caught with their pants down. This claim was debunked because someone named Rebecca was making claims that I'm trying to see if I can find the tab. Was making claims that the game was being sexist. And here's a follow-up. So IGN released a statement by the original Black Wukong hit piece author Rebecca Valentine. And we're gonna kind of zoom in and see if it. I want to read it, or at least let you guys. Last year, we published a comprehensive report on IGN, comprehensive, detailing a number of sexist and inappropriate remarks made by multiple developers of Black Myth Wukong, including those in leadership roles at Game Science. As of the publication of this preview, Game Science has yet to provide any response or statements addressing our report of their past remarks. If you're wanting to know, it's all in like Asian, so I can't like translate, but it was debunked. People translated the original translation. It was something about apparently the leader talking about licking their coworkers or having, doing acts, right? It was all just sexual and inappropriate. And anyone in their right, intelligent mind would say, a leader of a game talking about their employees out in public, that doesn't sound like a smart thing to do. And it was incredibly fallacious. It wasn't, the original translation was not done right. This Rebecca Valentine is a joke of a reporter who did the bare minimum, just generic white chick. I think, in fact, I'm going to just say it right now. It is people like Rebecca here that gives the stereotype, oh, it's just a generic white chick. This is prototypical of white women. That is a stereotype that is being prolonged by the fact that you have people who are not doing research. I think it's fallacious to even use these stereotypes, but you have people who prolong it, who encourage it. Hell, she's encouraging sexism because of her ignorance. They're targeting a literal Eastern Chinese company that isn't based in the same culture. And to be honest, China isn't like the most overly sexual country. But here we are, IGN releasing a statement via original Black Wukong hit piece author Rebecca Valentine fails to address the mistranslated text. Demand developer address her false claims against her. So they are expecting them to reach out and say, hey, we made these fallacious claims. It is you need to say something, not us. We don't need to do our homework as a reporter or a journalist. You need to tell us we're wrong. Demand developer she attacked to defend her personally for making those false claims. Whines that there are no feminine coded characters in the game, whatever that is. Yeah, on one last note, I did see any woman or feminine coded characters in the demo, and I was able to confirm that the game science, or from game science, that there were none present in a section of the game presented in the press. There will be women in the final game, but for now, it is impossible to really comment whether or not game science developers express belief permeate Black Myth Wukong in a meaningful way. So we're talking about a game that has animals. That looks like a woman to me. That looks like a woman to me. Here, yes, Black Wukong continues to look utterly sensational. Oh, look, another male or woman. But I can think anyone with intelligence can see, oh, this is a game about a monkey. This isn't about, oh, humans. This is a monkey. And there's a lot of enemies that are animals. Isn't this crazy, chat? YouTube, comment section. Isn't that crazy? You can just look at it and tell that this is a game that's focused on animals and lore, mythology. This isn't, oh, this is like, this isn't GTA 5. This isn't LGBTQ heterosexual. We need boobas and ding dongs, and we need to make sure that everyone feels like they can be a tree in the game. Like, this is a game about mythology. And so just to have this just stupid piece right here, the fact that they made claims, very fallacious, like you're attacking the personality. And honestly, if these were real false claims, I would absolutely sue this journalist into the ground. I'm not opposed to it. Like, listen, if you make false claims about someone's character and saying that they're saying things that they didn't say because you're too ignorant to actually get someone who's Asian to translate, can actually say, what did they actually mean? Then you are doing harm. You're falsely representing someone, and you should absolutely be sued into the ground. So that's my thought on that. Of course, you have people like Paul Tassi. I love Paul Tassi. I think I read a lot of his articles. But I think he is either naive or being intentionally ignorant in this. My favorite thing is when people take one thing from one review they don't like and apply it to thousands or writers and an entire profession. Sorry about that random jump cut. But yeah, as I was saying, I like Paul. And what he's replying to is this obvious criticism, saying a major problem of Black Myth Wukong isn't the gameplay, it's the lack of diversity. And down below, this person says, daily reminder that we don't hate game journalists and crap rag outlets enough. So what this guy's saying is like, yeah, we need to hate journalists a lot more. And outlets. And then Paul's over here defending, my favorite thing is when people take one thing from one review and apply it to everything. I think this is disingenuous from Paul, because as we showed from IGN, but also the next referring thing, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, is this right here. Here you have Screen Rant. Makes a game about a monkey in 16th century China with animals and monsters. Screen Rant, 3 out of 5 stars, not diverse enough. We wonder why game journalists are going extinct. And what you see here in the review is combat is fluid and fun. Cinematography can be breathtaking at times. Great diversity in items and mechanics. And down below, we have game performance is unpolished. I think that's a fair criticism. Lacking in inclusivity and diversity. And this is where this picture comes in. Western game journalists, when a game based on ancient Chinese mythology doesn't feature a pansexual, gender fluid woman of color. And this is what I'm saying. As someone who is in the counseling field, it is my job to respect everyone, identities and their beliefs, regardless of what my own personal beliefs. Who cares? Like, I'll treat and respect everyone as the same personally. But you have people like this, what I like to call mental illness. These aren't normal people. These aren't people who are among us. You think of LGBTQ people who play video games, and they're among us. They're having a good time. Heck, I remember Stellar Blade. People are getting upset about that. And I can guarantee there was a bunch of lesbian women who are absolutely having a blast playing that game. How many guys have played games who are gay? How many women have played games that were about men because they wanted to see a hot dude? Or maybe they wanted to play a game with a strong woman. Event Horizon. People love that. Tomb Raider. Those are great examples of inclusion and diversity that wasn't forced, or tokenism, as I like to say it is. But you're talking about a game, and I think this is I think it's a fair, concern. When people are saying lack inclusivity and diversity, and it's a game about a monkey and animals and monsters, I think it adds to the whole situation, and this is why people don't trust journalists. And that's why I say Paul's very disingenuous, that it's not, there's multiple dots on the graph, and eventually there's a line that's being made. And yes, stereotypes are being formed, and it's unfair to put everyone in the same box. It is unfair to say all journalists. But when you have people, the loudest mental illness screaming, who are making everyone look bad, you're making LGBT look bad, you're making women look bad, you're making anyone of color bad, because you're trying white knighting, white savior, LGBT savior. You're being stupid. You're stupid is showing. That's the best way I could say it. You are actively hurting everyone that you're acting like you're trying to support. Is it bad to want diversity and inclusion? Generally, no. I don't think anyone cares about that. It is when you are force feeding it, it's disingenuous, and it makes no goddamn sense. What are we talking about? This isn't like a Lion King situation of the live action where they wanted African American or black people to voice the characters. Okay, it's based on African animals. Sure, go with it. It makes sense. But why do we need more diversity when it comes to animals and mythology? And what's funny is the more that you dig into it, the more you find out that this Chinese company, Game Science, doesn't give a flying F about what mental illness journalists think at all. But yes, this is funny. Literally compliments it, gives two good cons. Game performance is unpolished and gameplay becomes repetitive over time. I think if you left it as that, people would be like, fair. No one's saying you can't give fair criticism about the game. But this is the most generic, like, hey, we're just going to post our personal beliefs that this monkey should have not been. Look at it. He's white. He should have been a black-haired monkey. His face is too white for us. Needs to be black. Needs to be, has colored hair, lipstick, must identify as a rhino. And yes, I'm being very crude, and I'm making fun of people with mental illness because the people who are the loudest, who are saying and doing the most absurd things, are people with mental illness, whereas people who are, you know, like I said, people of different colors, different races, different beliefs, whether it's religion, where it's sexual identity, they're living normal lives, and they're not the ones making a scene. They're just trying to live their life. They're trying to be people. I know this is a hard concept for a lot of people, but gamers used to be just the title. It wasn't that LGBT. It wasn't black or white. It wasn't religious, unreligious. It used to be gamers that we'd sit down, we'd play games, no matter where we came from, no matter what we believed, and we enjoyed a game. But it's become this political sphere that I hate. It became this agenda-based thing that now you're forcing people to play life. And I hate that. And I'm sure I can't speak for all LGBT. I can't speak for all women and people of different colors and races. Like that's pretty much the whole world. I can't speak for the world. But I guarantee I feel pretty confident that there's going to be people out there who just want to play a game and have fun, and they don't want these stereotypes to keep popping up because people with these goddamn big mouths and mental illness are making everyone look bad, including the journalists that actually take the time to report. And you have people, like I said, there was a whole fiasco because you have someone that's doing a hit piece. The game's not even out, and they're making wild accusations because it's not diverse enough, because this is game Screen Rant. Then you have IGN. And what else? What else do we have? Unironically, they heard the community complain. They removed the author's name for safety. I'm sure they did. They removed it. What else? I think they also the author of Screen Rant review on Black Myth Wukong has deleted their link after it was revealed that she worked or worked for a PR company. What is a PR company doing game review for? Yeah, so there's more. This is the kind of stuff. This is why people don't trust journalism. It's always about agendas. And the more that people are going to dig, they're going to find suspect situations. And that's what we got. We got here, Screen Rant, Black Myth Wukong situation only gets more hilarious. First, they remove Samar Ebiazin's name for her safety. Yeah, coward. Now her LinkedIn is deleted after it's been found out she worked for a PR firm, Splendid Consultancy. I can't find archive on her LinkedIn, but the website connecting her to the group below. This is what these activists, they do. They can't even stand by their bullcrap. I stand by everything I've said and won't hide because I said something that was wrong. Yeah. It's an agenda. This is why people don't trust or like journalists. And it used to be it used to be like that with games. We used to trust the game journalists because they stayed in their sphere. But then you have these mental illnesses creeping into game journalists, and it's about an agenda. It's not about games. It's not about fun. It's not about real inclusivity. It's not about real diversity. It's about power and control. And what better yet than to control the minds of the young people and try to influence gamers? Like, we're a huge population. It's insincere and it's disgusting. and I want it gone. If I wanted to live in the cesspool of sadness and frustration and anger and unfairness, I would just go step outside. I would watch the news. I'd watch CNN, Fox News. I would just literally live in life, and I will get that. Gaming should be a sanctuary, a safe place for everyone to come and enjoy. And that should be natural. We don't need Big Brother trying to babysit everyone and, oh, you can't do that. No, your mythology sci-fi game is not sex enough. There's not enough sex in that. There's not enough gayness in that. There's not enough blackness in it, and not enough Latino in this. Let people make a game. And if you feel like there's not enough LGBT or diversity, make a game. Fund a game. Support people. I'm sure they're out there. Support them. Help them. That's how you use your time. If you want to push an agenda, if you want to be an activist, then do something that's actually of merit. But bullying a Chinese company for making a game based on mythology only hurts you, because not only do people across the water think you're an idiot, the people who are living here also think you're an idiot. And I usually don't like talking like the whole Sweet Baby Inc. bull crap. Like there's like where there's smoke, there's fire, obviously. But I tend to stay away from it because, again, there's too much political bull crap. And it's annoying because as someone who's a counselor, my job is to always encourage and support and advocate for people. And I feel like this is the time to speak up and say something. And I encourage anyone who's of diverse population. And I mock them, the journalists, but I'm speaking to the gamers out there. It's okay to tell people to shut up and that they don't speak for you. It's okay. And if you disagree with me and say, no, I'm right there with them, then pop off. Just know most people are not going to stand by you. Especially if these people who aren't doing the bare minimum of doing research and actually getting the fine details. If you are aligning with these people, you are doing yourself a disservice. No one is going to support you. And that's what I want to encourage. Support people who think with facts and not feelings. If we always come with just feelings and we don't look at the facts, no one gives a crap. No one believes you. No one will trust you. Did Kotaku even review the game? They post a review of reviews and yet still repeat the debunked IGN article that smears game science about. So here's another instance of Paul Tassi being wrong. Here we have Kotaku. Again, this is no one takes Kotaku serious. They're swarming with mental illness and morons who are way too political. Focus on the game, give actual game reviews. No one gives a crap about your political view and your agenda-based bullcrap. I want a review based on the game, not your personal, like, oh, this upsets my beliefs. Who gives a crap? I want to know if the game's fun or not. So yeah, the title from Kotaku is Black Myth Wukong sounds like a pretty but repetitive and buggy action game. Okay, that sounds very fair. Then you read it. Black Myth Wukong was first announced in 2020 via a short but impressive looking gameplay trailer. Since then, hype around the game has steadily built thanks to its slick combat and gorgeous visuals. However, an IGN report in 2023 alleged that some top individuals at Game Science, the studio in the game, had participated in awful online discussions about women and fostering a toxic culture at the studio. So here you have someone citing a source saying it's alleged, which I'm going to tell you, if I ever see any article say allegedly and they don't do their own research and they don't actually look into it themselves, you can immediately disregard everything they say. I'm just saying, like, you are a journalist. It is your job to investigate, to actually get some evidence. You're just spewing out bullcrap. I could say allegedly the planet's flat. We don't have actual concrete evidence, says a report. by Dr. Seuss and Winnie the Pooh. Obviously, I'm spreading misinformation because that's not true. If I actually did research, I would find out that that's not true. And it's equivalent to this. And again, this is just another instance why people don't trust people. Now, unironically, if you go to IGN, they ranked it actually pretty high. But if you look at their review, it's first off, it's a dude. And secondly, it's a completely different person. I'm just wanting to see, they gave it 8, where initially it was like a 5.5, but they gave it an 8. Isn't that funny? Despite some frustrating technical issues, Black Myth: Wukong is a great action game with fantastic combat, exciting bosses, tantalizing secrets, and a beautiful world. And it's about the game. This frustrating technical issues. It's about the game. Holy crap. It's not about the monkey not being black enough, but which, by the way, if they actually came out and said that, I would call them a racist. Oh my God. I cannot believe how hard is it to just give a general actual review and it not be about something that has nothing to do with it. Now, we'll get to that in a minute. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. We can go get rid of that. Paul's dropping the ball. The game rant is, you know you're in the wrong when you delete you first off, you have to delete the name of the reviewer, and then you completely delete the whole LinkedIn and everything. Like, you are a garbage can person. All right. So now we come to this. I think this is the kind of final piece, whereas I think there's people that are on board, and then journalists are actually taking a crack at this because, oh, see, we told you. Let's read it. These are requirements and censorship that Black Myth: Wukong developers ask content creators when they give you a key. So this is what you have to do. Notice, by using the game key and creating content, you acknowledge that you have been informed of the following content and your statements are not related to the marketing team. Do's and don'ts. Do's, enjoy the game. Sounds good to me. Don'ts, don't insult other influencers or players. I think that's fair. Let's not talk about other people and their reviews. Let's just, they want you to stick into your lane. Your lane. Don't worry about other people. Do not use any offensive language or humor. We keep it. They probably might want to use some of these reviews or to showcase it in their country. I mean, they're very specific. I think that's respectable. From what I know, I think that a lot of like PG games, and I don't even know if it's PG. I don't care. But I know there's a lot of games that don't want creators using foul language or humor. Do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda, fetishization, and other content that instigates negative discourse. So I think that's huge. That instigates negative, so encourages it. So they don't want you to play the game and then try to cause drama to try to, because it's a game. It's supposed to be about the game. I think that is a very fair argument. Politics, keep the politics out of the game. It's supposed to be about the game, so play the goddamn game. Violence. I think the violence part is if you are being violent on screen, like hitting someone or throwing a cat or punching a dog or whatever people have been called out for, they don't want that. Nudity. That's Twitch. I avoid Twitch mostly because it's just an OnlyFans gotcha at this point. Feminist propaganda. I mean, you already have people going out there saying there's not inclusivity. Again, this is mostly to Western, where there's a lot of mental health issues going on. Again, I think it's okay to be a feminist, but there is definitely propaganda. And this is where people who are louder than the norm, you have normal feminists who just see it as a game. And then you have people with mental illness who are trying to make something out of nothing. And also literally making the whole group of feminists, I can't speak, I give up, look like a joke. Again, stereotypes are being incurred and encouraged because you have these people with mental health issues. Fetishization. Going to just go ahead and say OnlyFans and Twitch. and other content that instigates negative course. We already said that, right? Just focus on the game. Do not use trigger words such as quarantine, isolation, or COVID-19. For some people, listen, for some people, that's a hot button topic, COVID and quarantine. People like, I guess over there, it may be a bigger issue for them and they just don't want to talk about it. Seems like a pretty simple thing. Like, I don't know why we're talking about COVID-19 while we're playing a game anyways. Like, Do not discuss content related to China's game, industry, policies, opinions, and news. Listen, it sounds like, and that makes sense, like this is based on their game in their country. All they're doing is, hey, just respect. Like, we don't want you to play our game and then start trash talking our country. That we don't want that. We would please just play the game and review the game. Please keep all your other opinions for your TikToks and your Instagrams and your Twitter tweets. But please just keep your review to the game. Play the game, please. Just play the game. That's what it sounds like. I think this is fair. They just said focus on the game, W devs. Do not be a bummer. Bro said focus on the game. I respect. No feminist propaganda in return for not criticizing China. Do not include feminist propaganda. Man, I'm loving the Chinese more and more every day. Honestly, that's not bad. Boils down to focus on the game and nothing else. Seems, yeah. And it's sad that they have to come out and do this because you have journalists and content creators that are they're trying to either grab the views or they're trying to meet an agenda. And I do think that largely a lot of people say stupid crap or try to upset people by making gotchas titles. Like, I mean, everyone does gotcha titles. Let's be honest. Let's not act like everyone's a saint. Everyone does a gotcha title. Everyone tries to get clicks and views, especially if you get paid for it, right? Like, and journalists, they get, literally, that's their job. So it makes sense to do things. So to some degree, I do believe that is part of it. But another is, I do believe there is agenda being pushed. I think it's sad. Like, that developers have to say, hey, this is what they're saying here is outside of maybe like the humor and attacking other people. I would say put just the humor and rude. Everything else is just like, hey, leave the weird stuff in life for life. Just play the game, review the game, talk about the game. And that's how it should be. We should just play a game. Gaming should be a safe haven for everyone. I don't want to get into a political conflict. I don't want to get involved with someone's agenda. Oh, because the monkey doesn't feel like they're a rhino or they identify as a rhino or a tree. Like, it's just, and like I said, that's a stereotype and it's being created because you have people with the biggest mouths, and we all need to collectively as gamers tell them to shut the up, sit down and play the game. You don't like the game, then just say it. Why do you not like the game? Is it the gameplay? Is it the music? Is it the sound effects? Is it the world? Are you just not into the mythology? You could say that. I played it. I don't really like the mythology. It's not my jam. These are all reasonable criticisms. But it's nice to know that real journalists are actually going out there and trying it, and they're giving actual reviews based on the game and not their personal opinion based on, oh, is it inclusive enough? Again, this is why people in the world do not like America. And it's very obvious that journalists are trying to bully games like Wukong and the developers. And there was like a whole thing about DEI and people trying to blackmail them and all that. Like, I'm not getting into that because that's a whole can of worms, but I'm aware of it. And I think there, again, where there's smoke, there's fire. And what the bottom dollar is, we as America need to respect that we are not the police. We are not to tell other countries how they should live their life and what their culture should be. If China wants to be anti-LGBT, then just don't buy their product. Peace. If they're anti-female, if you feel that, Don't buy their product. Peace. Don't support them. Hell, don't even talk about them, because you talking about them is only going to give them more spotlight. That's something. Bad press is good press. People don't realize this, but you actively negatively talking about something, even making crap up, gives them press. And when people debunk that, it only makes them look better. So you are actively hurting what you're wanting to achieve. So some of the best things to do is just don't support them. That's the bottom dollar. But to think that we as a Western country have a right to tell someone across the water how they should run their company, how they should, I don't believe in it. Even if it's something you think is wrong, we're not God. We're not the big brother. We need to stay in our lane. We need to F off. We need to mind our own business and let people live their life. Now, if the citizens are under a tyrant and they're pleading for the world to help them, and I'm talking about like, this is like Nazi Germany kind of like pleading for help kind of stuff, then it makes sense for us to, step in. But this is just a video game. So like, we can chill. If you don't like the game, then don't play the game. That's what you do. Don't give them your money. Don't give them your time. Don't give them free advertisement. Again, I try to steer clear of politics as much as possible. And as a counselor, it really annoys me because I do run into the occasional kid that might be LGBTQ, who are young girls who want to be like one of the guys. I think it's okay to let them be themselves. But just people don't realize that they're they're creating stereotypes, and it's only hurting the people that they are actively trying to defend or support or try to create diversity. And it's so annoying because I'm trying to do like mental gymnastics to understand and hold my tongue, because a lot of things I see and I'm like, you are just hurting people. You are opening your big fat mouth and you are hurting people. And it bothers me, especially in the gaming world. Like, can people just game and have fun? Can we not have everything be agenda or push a topic? And I think Black Myth Wukong is just the epitome of it. I don't even know what if the game's good, because there's been so much drama about a game that wasn't even released yet, about people making false claims, people making crap up, and then the whole thing about not enough inclusivity or whatever about a video game that is about not even humans, about monkeys and animals and mythology. And it's just, it's so annoying. I actively give myself a headache thinking about it, and I'm done. I don't foresee myself doing another react on this topic, because it's riding the line of politics, and I'm going to end up saying something and it's going to be taken the wrong way, and I'm going to offend someone that I didn't want to offend. Like I said, as a counselor, I try not to offend, but when you have people who are just louder than the actual majority, because I guarantee you, majority of people who play this game who are from diverse populations aren't saying, man, I wish this game was more this. No, they're playing the game and either they like it or they don't like it. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm ranting, I'm raving, I'm done, Mr. Gaming Counselor. Let me know in the comments down below. Again, if you are from those diverse populations, I want you to know I am not saying you have a mental illness, regardless of what other people say. Personally, I don't want you to feel like I'm attacking you. When I say mental illness, I want you to know they're the very specific people who are making everyone look bad. As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Until next time, be the best version of yourself and game out. Huzzah.